Alright everybody, welcome to another Ink and Paint Club movie review. This week we are talking about the newest Digimon Adventure Tribe movie, subtitled Confession, or some kind of Japanese word that I can't pronounce. This is movie number 3. Yeah. Sorry. My name is JD, and with me is, as always, is my lovely ginger heterosexual life mate, Kyle.
It's me. I'm back.
Yay! Kyle missed the last Digimon review, but he was on the first one.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk about this horribly depressing movie.
I found it hilarious.
Well, you have a horrible sense of humor. Because you're a terrible human being.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as saying that.
I'm sorry. Alright, everybody. And just because I always forget to say this every time we review something, and because this came out like 3 days ago, there will be heavy spoilers. We're talking about everything in this movie, so if you haven't seen it and want to go in fresh, go do that and then come back. Because we still need your viewership.
There's nothing to view. It's hearership.
We need your listenership.
There we go.
Alright.
That one.
Christ. Alright, so this movie, if you've seen the other two, picks up right where the second movie left off. Everybody's picking up after the school carnival gone wrong. There's government agents all over the school. And Izzy is racking his brain to figure out what this whole Digimon infection thing is. And then it just goes through it's a very action-less kind of movie.
It was more on the drama than
it was a very drama-heavy movie. There were not a whole lot of monster fights, and I kind of was getting I was sitting through it, I was like, this movie needs more monster fights, and I got a pretty good one at the end, but you know, so Kyle, I don't know if you were being serious or not, but this movie did legit was really depressing. Because essentially what happens is that at the end of the last movie, this new Digimon, Meikumon, is like the source of this infection that's turning good Digimon to go crazy and basically become feral and shit. And for the safety of the main 8 Digimon, they put them in their little server home so they can't get infected, but fucking TK has to be a little bitch. And he's like, no, let's bring him out. And then Patamon gets infected and goes fucking nuts for like 30 seconds. Way to contribute to this conversation, Kyle.
Yeah.
And then through the entire movie, it just kind of shows one by one that all the Digimon are slowly getting infected. And it's kind of about them dealing with the fact that they may go feral and become evil, and they don't want, their trainers to, they want them to have good memories of them. Because the government, this probably was more important to this. So the whole government agency that's kind of overseeing this Digimon fiasco, which they kind of touched upon it in season 3, where government agencies were getting involved in Digimon stuff, but it's I'm really surprised in the first 2 seasons they didn't, all this shit is happening in the real world and no government agency is getting involved with this. Yeah. But basically I think her name's Himakawa. I don't know. I'm horrible with Japanese names. The government lady basically tells the Digimon that, there is a way to uninfect everybody, but doing so, you would have to reboot the digital world. And basically, the Digimon are like, alright, well, let's do that. And she's all like, well, if we do that, then you guys are going to lose all your memory. We're going to reset the Digimon world back to, square one, and everyone's basically going to have to be reborn and everything. You won't remember jack shit. And so, basically, you get this very long, almost 20-minute montage of every, little vignettes of each of the partner Digimon going to their trainer and let's do something fun so you have good memories to lead me on. And they're not saying that this whole reboot thing's gonna happen.
I thought most of the trainers didn't know.
No, like none of them knew about the reboot. Because like every time one of the Digimon are going up, it's like, oh, go out and do something, let's have fun or whatever, and they're like, you're just acting weird. Why do you want to do all this shit all of a sudden? And it was really heartbreaking because it's like, there's like, well, I just want to spend time with you. I just want you to be happy and shit. And it's like, aw, that's sad. So yeah, you get that whole. Basically, these Digimon are trying to make their last moments, good for their trainers to remember them by before they just completely forget everything.
Is trainer the correct word?
They're partners technically. Tamers is in season 3, but sorry, Pokemon. Etymology's getting in here. So that's basically the whole gist of this movie. It's just the whole drama of the Digimon accepting their fate, and it's like, all right, well, in order to save the human world, we're gonna have to reset our world, but we're gonna basically forget everything. So Kyle,
forgive my ignorance, but was that Ken from season 2? Or is that a new character?
Okay, so, alright, now we're going to get into the part we're just discussing bits and pieces here. Okay, so for the last 2 movies, we have been seeing this character who does look like Ken in his Digimon Emperor form from season 2. And they're like, oh, what the hell, Ken, you went evil. And he's just like fucking shit up. So at the end of this movie, the government lady somehow... So all the partners and decided to go to the Digimon world because they want to reunite with their Digimon after they got rebooted. And this is really horribly depressing scene where they meet up with them and no one remembers anything. But I guess the government woman went with them and she meets up with Quotey Fingers Ken. And then he fucking turns into Jedi in his younger form from season 2. So I'm confused now.
Well, that was the perfect place to end a movie.
God damn it! Now we gotta wait like 6 months for another one.
Is that really how long it takes?
You usually get about 2 a year. I'm pretty sure the next one will be out in like March-ish.
Holy
They
shit.
haven't said when, but so yeah, that raises a lot of questions. 1, is that actually Jedi? 2, if it is he evil now? 3, why is he evil? 4, is that lady evil?
Well, I would assume she's evil.
Well,
Everything's been mysterious and...
I know, but it seems it came out of left field for me because it's like she's been helping them this entire time, and just like all of a sudden now she's like, oh, I'm gonna have this weird evil smile right at the end of the movie that makes you think that I'm evil. And I'm like, why? I don't get it.
She does say at the end though, well, not at the end, but in the beginning, they're like, you're lying to him, and then she's like, you want me to tell the truth?
Well,
that was kind of sinister in a sense.
Well, I thought that was more in the sense that like she knew about, rebooting the digital world, and what would happen because of that, and she was lying by not telling them about it because they would probably throw a fit about it. So I assume that's what she meant by saying she's lying. And it's like they're adults in the government. Of course they're not going to tell these high schoolers everything that's going on. So yeah, I'm very confused now. I'm confused and sad. And I don't like it. That being said, I like this movie.
It was fun. Patamon wanted to die.
So sad. Patamon literally just tells her, just like, look, because Patamon's like the first one that gets the infection, which I find kind of ironic because he's an angel. Shouldn't like his holy power just absolve him of that?
I guess.
But like Patamon's like basically tells TK, is like, hey, if I get out of control, kill me. It's like, that's sad. Why would you say that?
Just fucking finish me off.
Melody, who has like almost zero knowledge of Digimon, Melanie has like zero knowledge of Digimon, and she watched this with me, and she was like fucking about to cry through like half of this movie. Because it's just sad, basically watching these
sad
creatures.
Music and
I don't know. It's just like it's sad watching these creatures basically go to their death. I don't know.
it's sad music and our attachment to pets that make things like that hit home.
It's true, man. Don't die, dog.
Yeah, if Scout came up to me and was like, "Yo, kill me, I got rabies," I'd be like, "Oh, that's sad."
Oh,
And I'd probably hit him with a shovel.
no. Speaking of.
Speak of the devil.
Oh,
He didn't agree with me.
Oh, no. So, Kyle, did you watch the second movie?
I did not.
You did not. Okay. Well, you didn't miss a whole lot, so. The second movie.
No giant monster battle.
I mean, there was, but it was a lot of filler. They went to a bathhouse, and then they had a school festival, and then the fucking cat comes back and becomes evil, and then Gomon and Palabon become megas, they fight it, and then it escapes, and that's pretty much where this movie picks up.
And then they went to the beach and had a beach episode.
They haven't had a beach episode yet.
Oh.
So, having only seen the first and the third movie, what was your takeaway from this movie?
Well, I was noticing it's pretty weird, just the stylistic change from over the years. It's a very modern anime, if that's anything to take away from.
Yeah, I agree. We started watching the first season last night, and it is kind of interesting. Like, it's very more adult in style, as opposed to the earlier version, which is very more cartoony in nature. I guess is the best way to put it.
But I don't know. I'm not that big of a Digimon fan. I'm not as big as you are.
Oh my.
I liked it. It was fun. There was a lot of drama, a lot of tension trying to get to that cube.
Yeah. They were trying to put everybody back in this cube that Izzy made, because it's like he has all their backup data, so it can keep them from being infected, but things went awry.
It was great to see them struggling with fighting 8 monsters at a time.
Right. Yeah, okay, that is the one thing I really liked about this movie, is that final battle where basically, like, everybody goes into like, their champion or whatever level. I guess, like, Agumon went to War Greybon off screen or something, because he just randomly shows up.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're fighting. It's like, okay, Agumon has this big transformation into Metal Greymon. Great. And then it cuts away. Comes right back. And he's War Greymon with no, like, announcement of that at all.
I found that weird because nobody else went that level.
Right.
You kind of imagine Gabumon would have went there because they're kind of you can't go with one without the other in a sense. So it's kind of weird just to see one of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing it's because they wanted to keep it at least plausible that when Tentomon finally got his Mega form this time, he could feasibly hold everybody back.
Sounds about right.
He's
a fucking bug. He's got like 9 arms.
Yeah, he does. Man, I've been waiting to see that guy in the anime forever. I mean, I think I still have that card in my binder at my parents' house.
The yellow one?
Yeah, Hercules Kabuterimon a beast.
What's the red one? Mega?
That's Mega Kabuterimon. All these kind of prefix words. Yeah, that last fight was really cool. You got to see everyone trying to fight Meicumon's final evolution, where it grows tits for some reason.
Yeah, I found that weird.
Cat tits!
Fur bait right there.
Oh, God. Man, you and I were talking before this, and, like, you kind of brought up a point where Meikumon, compared to everybody else, is horribly over-designed.
I just think it's the hair that does it. It's definitely the hair, because they just have this giant flowing hair, but then I was looking at Anja Woman's design. She's got like a fur boa. She's got fucking wings out the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, do I really think she's over designed? Kinda. It's just weird.
My problem with Meicoomon is, especially when it goes to its, older forms, is that it has like these giant like banner tentacle things that grow off of it, whatever the fuck they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
and they're just all over the place, and like it's hard to tell like what its form is when it's moving around so fast.
Yeah.
It's just like this like strings of ribbon that grow out of its body, and they're just moving and wrapping around everything, and it's like, this is kind of hard to follow.
Well, what I was saying was it just feels like a fan character, and it kind of does in a sense. It's really over designed. It's straight up the eyes too, because the eyes are just X's or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody has pupils like that.
Right. And I think that's not so much of a problem with Meicoomon itself as it is just modern Digimon design. Because if you look, I mean, it's the same problem Pokemon has. Because in the beginning, a lot of designs were simpler. But if you look at Digimon that were made within like the last 4 or 5 years, they're like horribly complicated. And it's like, how the fuck would anyone draw this?
Yeah.
It's just, designs are all over the place.
Well, it's funny too. You think about animation and stuff, and it's like you kind of want to simplify everything so it's easier to animate. To imagine, what they put the animators to go through to animate all the fucking little details on a Digimon.
And man, I'm really impressed that they stuck to 2D animation for most of this.
I think those. Well, go on.
Wait, go ahead.
Those 3D models are terrible.
Oh, no. And I'm glad that the only evolution that they decided to use those for is from the rookie to champion level. Because, like, anytime someone goes into their ultimate form, it's hand-drawn.
Oh, it just looks like it's ripped from a PS2 game or a PS1 game. It's just kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of terrible. And the thing is, like, I don't know if you've noticed it too, but, like, when they do their little pose at the end of evolving, they're always in the most awkward positions.
Yeah.
Like,
especially Kabuterimon, his fucking pose with all his arms and shit, it just looks so awkward.
The one that bothers me the most is Lilymon's, because she has like her knee hiked up and she's like has her back bent and like her hands up, and it's just, who stands like that? It's really weird. But no, man, I really enjoyed that. Like, when Hercules Kabuterimon comes up, it's hand-drawn. They did a really nice, evolution from Greymon to Metal Greymon, where you basically, like, see his armor getting put on in 2D. Because, like, in the old one, it was in really shitty, like, late 90s CG, so... And, man, that's the thing. Like, Digimon really likes to pick and choose which evolution animation is going to be in CG and which ones aren't. Because, like, Agumon and Gabumon had like 3D evolutions where no one else had that. And then in season 3, Guilmon and Terriermon had 3D evolutions, but Renamon never got any.
That's pretty funny.
It's weird, and the CG is always so off-putting because it's never like good CG. It's just like, we had a model and we took like a day to light and texture this. It's really
about right.
It's really odd. But, no, I really enjoyed that. And I really like that in this movie, that they did a lot, especially when the Digimon are going through their like little vignettes of like trying to have one last good day. Like, there was a lot of callbacks to the older series, and the one that I actually had to explain to Melanie, because, again, she has no reference for any of this, when Gabumon's going to Matt and he's just bugging, he's like, just play the harmonica for me, just one last, come on, just play it for me. And he's like, why? And he just keeps bugging him about it, and he's like, alright, whatever. And then Matt just sits down and starts playing the harmonica, and they just like hold on that image for a good 30 seconds. And then we watched the episode where that happens last night, and it's like, oh, that's sad and heartwarming at the same time.
See, I wasn't a fan, but I got that.
Yeah. Well, I think well, Mel's watched about 15 episodes of the first season now because we watched a lot last night. Um, but yeah, I especially like for fans of Digimon, these movies are very obviously just fan service, but I like that even like those little moments are being brought back just to show that these characters are the same characters and a lot of their stuff is carrying over. So I like that I like these movies' attention to detail, I guess is the best way to put that.
Seems like the theme for this movie's basically growing up.
Yeah, because I went and saw the English dub of the first movie when it was in theaters a couple weeks ago. So I got to rewatch that one. Yeah, and there's like this whole bit where like the teacher slash government guy is basically asking Ty, is like, well, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to be when you grow up? And he's like, I don't fucking know. And then like in this movie, during Sora and Biomon's little bit, so Biomon's like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And Sora's like, I'm too busy to think about that right now. So it's definitely, and even this, it's kind of going to be interesting in the next movie now that I think about it, because it's like, so the Digimon get rebooted, and so they lose all their memories, they go back to the digital world, everything's being reset. And like everybody just decides that they're just gonna move on from it. And Izzy's like the one trying to get everyone together. It's like, no, we can go back, we can go meet them again. And everyone's just like trying to let it go and move on with their lives.
That would be like the prime time to switch if you didn't like your partner.
Melanie was even asking me that. It's like, did they pick who they wanted or like what? It was like, no, everyone pretty much knew who they're getting ahead of time. So, which is never
don't pick the Digimon, they pick you.
I know, and they never really explain why that is. At least I don't remember there being an explanation.
Well, I'm sure it has to deal with the crest and what it represents, and what they represent.
I guess, but fuck, what was my point before this?
Growing up,
Thank
not
you.
knowing what to do.
Yeah, so like everyone's just trying to let it go, and Izzy finally like is like he's going around trying to get everyone to go. It was like trying to get them to go back into the digital world so they can re-meet their guys, and then there's this whistle sound, and I didn't realize until I went back that like that's been a theme through like the entire series. Is that every time this whistle sound goes off, it's like something important. Because I guess in like the very first movie, the one where like everyone's like little kids, like they blow the whistle and it wakes Greymon up, and then they blow the whistle again when they're leaving at the end of the first season.
Wasn't that like Kari's thing, if I remember correctly?
I think it's Kari's whistle, but it's just like a sound that plays now. But they hear everyone hears the whistle again, and like and somehow instinctually knows where to go to meet up. Everyone just like ends up at the same spot. And so they go back to the digital world. They're like, all right, well, we're going to go back because we got to, save them. We got to go meet them again. Because it's kind of like this weird regret. They were trying to move on and grow up and all this stuff, but now they're kind of regressing back to like when they were kids, and they're going back to like relive that kind of thing. Because I mean, basically, they get a fresh start now because they got to re-meet their partners all over again. So it's gonna be weird if they kind of explore that in the next movie.
So what about the ones that were fighting when they first got in?
What do you mean?
There was like some metal wasp-looking thing, fire around it.
What are you talking about?
Well, when they first get into the digital world, there were two monsters fighting.
Oh.
And I'm saying a wasp because he had like a metal ass.
Oh,
stinger
okay.
on it.
So this is the thing that hasn't been explained yet. So through these movies so far, there's been like this white dragon character with like a red scarf or whatever, and he's just in the background. He doesn't talk. He just pops up in the background and then leaves. That. Because there's so when the kids go back to the digital world in this movie, they basically just show up, and Alphamon from the first movie, the guy that Omnimon was fighting before he escaped back into the digital world, and then the fully evolved form of that weird dragon thing are just fighting. So I have no idea what the fuck that's about.
It was Ken's fault and the Dark Cog.
See, I don't know if it is Ken, because Ken was Jedi in disguise, and I don't even know if that's Jedi or if it's just some weird dark thing. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm thoroughly confused. I'm scared and alone, Kyle.
Okay.
Thanks for consoling me, you ass. But no, I'm enjoying these films so far. I'm sure I've said it a million times in the other reviews, but like Digimon is like a huge thing, part of my childhood, so I'm really glad to see these characters again. And side note, it was cool seeing the English dub because I got like most of the English voice cast back, so that was
most? Who didn't? Who's the asshole that didn't come?
I think TK, Matt, Kari, and Joe didn't come back. But,
fuck, that's like most of them.
Right, but obviously we talked to Colleen and Sora was back. They somehow pulled Ty's voice actor, who had retired from voice acting years ago, back in for it, which was kind of cool. Izzy's voice actor came back, and I think most of the Digimon had their original voice actors.
I really don't like Agumon's Japanese voice.
Because he's so high-pitched and whiny.
Yeah, I don't know if it sounds like a girl to me or not, or I don't remember.
Something that I think the English dub kind of loses is that when they're in their rookie form, they're very much children.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really notice it until I started watching the Japanese version. Like, they act like small children a lot. Like,
I did like that where they were fighting and they had their noses pressed up against the TV, like, oh shit, something's going down.
Okay, see,
I did like that.
I like that as, like, a funny gag, but I didn't like where it was put. Because it was in a really, like, tense, sad moment, and then it just cuts them all on with their face squished against the screen. He's like, couldn't have saved this scene for something else. I don't know, but yeah, I'm happy with these movies so far, and I can't wait till the next one comes out. We still got 3 more of these things, so expect more reviews.
Jesus.
So Kyle, do you have any final words for this review?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, guys, if you haven't seen this movie, well, you ignore my warning at the beginning, I guess. But if you have, let us know in the comments what you've been thinking of these movies. I, for one, greatly enjoy them and think they're very well done. So, yeah. Good job, everybody.
What he said.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Make sure to share this with your friends and tell us what you think of the movies, because we would love to hear from you guys. And as always, in the description, there's all links to our social media pages if you want to follow us on there, on Facebook and Twitter, all that good stuff. And be sure to come back every week, because we always have more reviews and podcasts to do. So, Kyle, say goodnight.
Good night.
All right, good night, everybody. We'll catch you next time.